Good afternoon, class. So today is 10th of January and we will have to cover the current affairs of today. The first news is related to the vaccination drive that is going to be completed or not completed but started from 18th of January. Now, with respect to the vaccination drive that is going to be implemented from 18th of January, there is a requirement of various type of forwarded and the backward linkages, the training of the health workers, efficacy of the vaccine, and a cold chain that is required to provide vaccine from one place to another. In this particular regard, already the government have divided the set of the population who will get who will get vaccines in four parts, and at the forefront of it are the health workers and the frontline workers, followed by the person who constitutes all those citizens of India who are above 50 years of age. Then there are persons below 50 years of age with comorbidities, and finally there will be another people who will get vaccinated over time depending on the need of mass vaccination, which will actually lead to uh, achievement of the herd immunity. So I hope this is clear. Government have given a go ahead from 16th of January it will start happening, and the immunization program of India, the same cold chain will be used by all the people who are working in the vaccination drive now. And Drug Controller General of India, I hope you remember, the three vaccines has been allowed: the Serum Institute of Pune, the Bharat Biotech, and AstraZeneca of Hyderabad. So these are the three vaccine candidates who have been given for the third phase trial. They will be conducting different kind of vaccination on the volunteers, and already there is an app that is developed by the government called as Covin. On Covin, approximately 79 lakh people have already registered who will be coming forward, and 61,000 have already made the program managers with 2 lakh vaccinators who have already been trained and are ready for the vaccination drive. Okay. So in HP, the vaccination will also start from 16th of January. So even before the Panchayat election, the vaccination will start. The next news is related to 17 hours in the air, women crew flying into the history. Now, this is one of a kind feat regarding the women crew. There was never a woman crew or all women crew in which the pilot and the co-pilot who were flying the airplane have ever consisted of a woman. Last year, I think we have seen INS Tarini, in which all women crew have basically sailed all over the world, and they come back to the port on I think on completing whole of the round around the globe. Now this particular plane was a air journey in which all the pilots were of Air India, and this is a woman crew pilot who has been flying from San Francisco to Bengaluru, and they have taken approximately 17 hours to cover the 13,000 kilometer distance by coming over North Pole to Atlantic, and then they actually understand San Francisco is in America. Then they went to North Pole, and from North Pole they came to again the state of India or Bengaluru. Okay. The next news is related to Madhav Singh Solanki. Who was he? He was former Union Minister, Gujarat CM, and was a soft-spoken person. He was the Union Minister in the time of Rajiv Gandhi and Narasimha Rao government. Just remember his name. There may be chances that this particular question could be directly asked in the examination. The next news is related to Mali makes no apology for ties with India. Please read the whole interview. I will give you what are the basic premise and what are the basic questions that are asked to him. First question that was asked to him that what are your domestic policies and what you intend to achieve. So the president of the Maldives says that he have provided education for all up to the undergraduate level or to the first undergraduate degree that the persons are going to receive. The second are the health sector reforms. The third is issue with the decentralization and the empowerment of the local communities. With respect to the political reform, he initiated his efforts that 1/3 of the reservation should be provided for the women in the council, and that is a very good motive. Now plus there is also issue regarding the particular reservation of women, because already the reservation with respect to the seats to the women in the parliament have already failed for 2 times now, and the third time when it will be further reduced it will again fail. Now if you have to find an alternative, or if you are administrator and there is a way that you should suggest to the political rulers that what to do if you want to involve women or more women legislator in the parliament, what could be the options? Because the men legislators who are dominated by the mentality, or because nobody wants to uh, make this particular thing, there will be pros and cons on both sides, that democracy is the rule of the elected. But then again, in panchayats, a 50% reservation for the women is being allowed, and the panchayats have formed well. So in Lok Sabha, from where you could start. Now, the one suggestion that I could give, that you start by giving reservation to women in Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha is although an indirect election, so it will not create a much difference, even if it is talking about the representation of the people, or even if the people are saying that the candidate that they are liking, whether it is a male, whether it is a female, is not of their own choice. Okay, because this is the only argument that the male candidates say, that the democracy is about choice and they should be given a choice what to choose, whether a man, whether a woman, both are equal in the eyes of the law. But we have already seen that there is a very small legislators or the women legislator that are present in the parliament. So if you want to introduce a reform, you first have to give the women the taste of the legislation. So you include them in Rajya Sabha. Once you provide 50% reservation to them in Rajya Sabha, automatically the society and all other things will start demanding reservation for in the Lok Sabha, maybe one third or maybe some other people. So women needed to be engaged with this particular issue. Now this is another question that is often get asked. What could women do if the women would be included? Because the male are doing just fine. This is the opinion. Plus, please understand, there are certain specific problems that are related to women, which only women can understand. For example, I have noticed this particular issue several times in the public also when we talk about urban settings or all other things. Now, with respect to the period poverty, if we talk about, the women have to buy the things on their own. They have to arrange for the facilities on their own. They do not find a proper place to dispose of the sanitary napkins. And in any of the municipalities, I think 2 or 3 days ago, we have heard of this a particular municipality in Mumbai who have started this particular facility for the women. So there should be a separate bathroom in which the disposal of the sanitary napkin could be provided. And if they are in public places and they suffer or they suffers from the period pain or some other thing, if the period is coming in the public places, they do not have to rush all the way to the home or all the way to the office where the safe spaces are provided. They should also be made public in the nature. So the sharing of the public space with the women, I think it is high time now that the women should also be given the advantage of inclusive development, because most of the time we have often that are being designed or offer designed from the caliber of a male mind. So the toilets are being provided, but the women specific problems that are there are not being adhered to. So I hope you understand this. So now coming back to the India Maldives issue, 2 issues I have discussed. Please remember how to make the cities and all other urban areas women friendly, and the second issue is how the women reservation should be included in the parliament. Okay, that is an alternative way that could be done. There are other ways also. If the parliament as a whole agrees, then there is no problem in this particular issue or in this particular bill to be get passed through the Parliament of India. So Maldives, already we talked about the reforms. The another question was, what are the major concerns? So Maldives, Mr. Solih have Ibrahim Mohammed Solih have basically talked about that climate change is one of the major concerns provided by the international corporation that they are desiring from the country. With respect to the tourism sector, it has been asked a question that the tourism sector is in shatters now, or is completely out of the revenue that it was earlier going to generate for the Maldivian state. You must understand, most of the revenue of the Maldives is coming from the tourism sector. There is not much economic activity that is happening within Maldives, but the tourism sector is providing major boost for the foreign exchange that is coming to the Maldives. Now with the backdrop of the COVID, Maldives is not able to generate a huge amount of capital for the local people, which have actually led to, because in tourism sector only the foreign investment is coming in. So if the foreign investment is not coming in because of the fear of the COVID, the people are also cancelling their plans. So the economy is going to recover, but it is going or recovering slowly. Another question is asked. There is Auditor General that was present in Maldives. They have flagged a question that the too much dependency on India could harm the Maldivian country in the short future or in the long future. To this, Maldivians Mohammed Soleh have said that India is an understandable country. We had good relations with India and we are not under debt. However, if we need any kind of help from any country regarding the development projects, understand one thing, India is actually basically helping Maldives with high impact uh, development project. Now, what are high impact development projects? High impact development projects are those projects who affect the community as a whole. For example, education is one sector. We can provide training, we can provide water, we can provide different kind of playgrounds, school facilities, or we can teach certain students with respect to the new technologies that are emerging. Okay, so these are some of the high impact community development projects which India have undertaken in different countries. For example, in Pakistan, in Maldives, these are the two countries that we have often targeted, and we have also tried to do this in Bangladesh, Myanmar, and Thailand. Myanmar have somehow allowed it, but Nepal have completely said no to it, and Bhutan is also doing this on its own. Now, after that, the question is the balancing of India and China. So he have kept mum on this. He have said that there is nothing that India and China cannot solve bilaterally. So there is no issue for any other country to get in between. The issue was also asked to the SAARC nations. With respect to the SAARC nation, they have subtly said that although SAARC is a particular organization that is needed to be basically taken into its fold and should perform on its whole capacity, and currently it is a dispute between Pakistan and India that is putting shackles on the complete performance of the SAARC nations. To this, he have said that the bilateral issues also needed to be discussed on a different platform, and the multilateral issues can also be needed to discuss on a separate platform. You must understand the statement of Sri Lanka also. They are also demanding the same. Most of the people were hoping, or even Mr. Modi was hoping, that SAARC will be able to replace the BIMSTEC. But the BIMSTEC nation have basically disagreed with this particular opinion. They have said that SAARC has another probability of getting things to get pushed with one another, and for the bilateral trade, strategic or other relations to be established among the different countries for a broader aspects of the South Asian nations. So I hope this is clear. The next news is related to new challenges for the COVID-19 vaccine trial. So a study has been conducted by the Department of Biotechnology. In that study, they have found that approximately 50% of the women are only likely to get the vaccine, and the other 50% are not opting for the vaccine because of the vaccine hesitancy, the various fake news, the disinformation, or maybe some genuine concerns that people are having. So all four are the basic concerns of the people. Now, in that particular regard, the survey that was conducted, they have formulated a project that there are sufficient number of people who have come forward to accompany the vaccine trials in the third phase, and if that would be successful, then the efficacy will be ensured along with the quality, and then the only question that remain to answer would be quantity. So quantity can be easily managed by India because we have a huge pharmacy, and India is also called the pharmacy of the world. So that is one of the things that is there. The another issue with respect to the recruitment, approval, and with respect to the training of the workers. So all can be managed. I hope you remember earlier we have also studied this. The workers already have been provided training. Approximately 2 lakh workers has been trained. Apart from that, the spread is also slow. The spread is slowing. So how much efficacy of the drugs is because of the vaccine, and how much is actually the elimination of the COVID virus by natural causes, we have to ascertain this, because that will only amount to the direct prediction or the direct calculation or the direct scientific estimation of how much the vaccine is effective. I hope this is clear. The next one is the identical twins aren't perfect clone. This is shown by a study. First of all, need to understand what are identical twins and twins. So in the case of twins, if I hope you remember, every egg is released in a month or approximately after 25 or 27 days, depend on every woman. In that particular case, every egg is released per month, and this egg is basically destroyed every month. So all eggs are generated at the time of the birth, and if 2 eggs are released at a particular time and the 2 sperms basically fuse together and they lead to the formation of the zygote, that is called as a birth of the twins. 2 different eggs, if the twins are born, they are called as the birth of the twins. The second issue is related to the identical twins. Identical twins are basically a type of a mutation that happens within the initial stages, And in identical twins, the eggs, because of certain mutation, get separated into the two. Now, most of the people have over the centuries has believed that identical twins are perfect clones. Now there is a study who says that they are not perfect clones. Now what study they have conducted? They have conducted that whenever there is a case of identical twins, they have only studied identical twins. They have found that there is a difference of approximately 5.1 factor between the identical twins. And this phenomenon has been found in approximately 15% of the identical twins that were born. Understand this thing? 5.1 factor is the difference between the two. So what does we mean by this? If 100 factors are same, then there is a difference of 105. So 5 factors are different. Among every 100 factors, 5 factors are different. And another is that all the identical twins, in 15% of the twins, this particular feature has been found. And this is the thing that was not earlier established. Now, what were the beliefs of the people earlier? They believed that identical twins are basically similar to one another, but over the time, because of the environment, their choices of lifestyle and all other things, they grow apart from one another, which this particular thesis have disagreed. They have said that if they are identical twins, the one twin would be more prone to cancers, or maybe more prone to eating less, maybe thinner, maybe taller. So these are some things that are affected by the gene mythology. Even if you give them the same diet, there are high possibility that they will grow up differently as compared to one another, from a factor of 5.1 to a factor of 100. Okay, that is how apart they can grow with each other. The next news is meteorite at Jaipur. This was found in 2017. First of all, you need to understand what is a meteorite, what is a meteor, what is a meteor shower, and then there is asteroids. So asteroids are large bodies that are revolving around the solar or the sun, revolving in the solar system. I hope we have already read about the asteroid belt in the geography first chapter. Please remember, if you do not remember, please go refer to that particular section of the book. The second one is the meteorites. Meteorites are small particles who fall on the earth, and when they come into the earth atmosphere, they start burning, and whatever remain that falls on the earth is called as meteorite. Now, why they are important? To understand the importance of meteorite, you will have to again go to geography. The basic concept of how the solar system was created. There was a Big Bang. The Big Bang happened. Then the first atom was formed within 3.4 minutes. And afterwards, the whole of the universe was a clump of gas. Okay. So there were localized clump of gases who were more or having more gravity as compared to the other portions. Now, for basic understanding of this, just remember this particular example that I have created on my own. I do not think how fit it would be. But let's say there is a water on the floor. That is a clump of gas. Now, if you walk on that particular water on the floor, wherever you will place your feet, the water will actually, because of the force of cohesion, will stick to your either the feet or either the slippers that you are currently wearing. Okay, so this also happened in the nature. There were small clump of gas who had a major or who have a type of a more gravitation as compared to the neighboring areas. Okay, so small they starting collecting into small regions. So the area, the clouds that were early spread horizontally, they started depositing in a near place. Now at the center of this, from the hydrogen gas, it started revolving, it became powerful, and the dust particles started revolving around the sun. As they start revolving around the sun, by the force of cohesion and attrition, because they were also colliding with one another, and they were also getting together with one another because of the gravity. Gravity is a phenomenon which attracts other body by equal and opposite force. Okay, it is applying. So they started gathering one another, and now they are gathering and they are also revolving around the sun, which led to the formation of the planets. Okay, and there are still particles called as asteroids who are still not fused together, and they are only revolving around the sun in the same manner as the earlier or the before after the Big Bang, as the situation was there. Okay, so these particles are very important because these particle has not fused together. We have studied in the case of Earth, as the particle fused together, The heavier particles sank to the center of the Earth. The lighter particles became the crust of the Earth. But in the case of asteroids, which provide the evidence of the initial atmosphere or what kind of initial material the universe was consisting of, they are very important in those particular studies. I hope this is clear. In the case of meteorite, there are stony iron and chondrites. The stony meteorites consist of stones, different kind of stone. Then there are iron, which contain the major amount of iron. If you remember, there is iron shelling that happens on a particular planet. See on which planet you will find iron rain. Okay. Then there is chondrites. There is a silicate droplet bearing who have been found from the Jaipur called as a village called as Mukundpura. Now NASA have sent a particular satellite for the study of the asteroids called as Bennu, and they have sent Osiris-Rex to Bennu, and from there it will take samples of that particular Bennu and then it will come to the Earth and will come in 2023. The next one is Japan, who have sent Hayabusa, and they have sent this particular satellite to Ryugu asteroid. Okay? इन बातों को ध्यान रखिएगा. That's why the study of asteroid is important, because they have not fused together. If they have not fused together, the things that happened on Earth are not generally happened on those particular meteorites. Okay? So that will actually give us insight into the earlier formation of the sun. The next one is the harnessing what Einstein called spooky action at a distance. Now this is related to the quantum technology application that is currently happening. Before going into this, government have started two programs. One program is National Mission on Quantum Technology Application and the other mission is Quest. So both these missions are working under the Department of Science and Technology. The allocation for the quantum is 8,000 crore, but it has yet not been approved by the government. Maybe because of the backdrop of the COVID, the government needed money, so they did not provide money for this particular project. The next one is started by Quest, and this Quest program is started by the Department of Science and Technology within itself for achieving the quantum supremacy. First of all, you need to understand what is a quantum. Now, imagine a particular bracket. I hope you have all read about a electron which have half spin electron. I think you have read. There are two spins that are present in a particular electron. Okay, sorry, there are two spins that are present in a particular atom. So there is a positive spin, there is a negative spin. One is pointed upwards and one is pointed downwards. The quantum mechanics work on the area of photon or use the photon, the light energy particles. Now imagine this particular part. I think you all have used the brackets in the anywhere. The closed loop brackets, they contain the spin. So if the spin starts moving away from each other, the brackets also will start moving away from each other. Okay? Because you can arrange the spin as far as possible. So in between them, the information could be contained. Now this is what the quantum computation is. The quantum computation is basically 0 and 1. Okay? So spin is also related to 0 and 1. Basically, in today's world, the computer only understands one language, 0101, and every information that you are reading on the laptop is embedded into 0101. But when we are talking with certainty that this place is 0, this place is 1, there is not much difference that can be put into mind in differentiating the two. Either it is 01 or either it is 10 or either it is 00. This is how the information is being fed. Okay, for example, if you have made the XY chromosome replication, I hope you understand XX is written on one side, YY is written on one side. In the similar way, 00 is written on one side, 11 is written on one side. So that will give you 4 possibilities. Okay, so 00, 01, 10 and 11. This is how the computers work. But now imagine this particular grouping. Let's say we have a globe or we have a sphere, and on the sphere you have to mark that where the 1 and 0 would be existing. So you will not be able to mark, because for the end point of time the possibility of existing 1 or 0 will always be there. Please understand, this question have come in the IAS examination this year. Yesterday's question paper, if you pick up, the application of the quantum technologies has been asked. And for the last, I think, whenever we have talked about quantum technology, I have told you that please read about this particular technology. There are high chances that this question would be asked in the mains, and in the IS main you can see this question by yourself. So the quantum technology has basic application with respect to the secure communication, fast computers, and the sensors that are communicating with one another. And of course, the processing that they can do could be almost 1,000 or 10,000 times faster than the original computers that we are currently having. Also, I have told you, remember the name of the company, who was the first company who did it. So it was Google who have claimed to achieve quantum supremacy, and the another one is China. China have said that they have a satellite called as Micesius. This Micesius satellite has basically, for the first time, any form of quantum signal has been sent for two stations that were situated 13,000 kilometers apart with the help of the satellite. So these are the two major happenings that you need to see. And I do not want to just blame the government, but I am highly disappointed that the government should, if it want to cash in on the fourth industrial revolution, we have to go for quantum technology. And holding up the money, the 8,000 crore is not a very good strategy, because the things, technology will always decide what future the country will hold. We have seen this in the case of history. Technology have always played a major role in the conquest of the nations or in the rule of the nations. So I hope this is clear. The next one is the threat posed by avian influenza. You can read this on your own. I will not go into detail. Everything is being covered. You should remember two or three major things. How it is caused. It can be eliminated from the birds? Can there are other possibility it can infect humans? What are the alternatives the government can have? Whether the poultry, what is the economic impact of this particular avian influenza that it will impose on the government? Okay, so these are things you should remember. The next one is the logistics of the massive vaccination drive. I hope you remember vaccination is not logistics. What are the central government that is going to bear with respect to the vaccine that is needed to be made available to the common people? How much expenditure the government is have to bear with respect to the supply chain, with respect to the efficacy, and all the issues that are currently over there. So I will also not explain to you this particular article. Read this on your own. The last one is the terror mastermind. So this is Zakir Rahman Lakwi. Already we have talked about LET, why he is adding LET, what are the charges that were implemented on it, why Pakistan is doing these things now as they have been not doing for the last 3 or 4 years, because the plenary section of the FATF is on the round, and FATF have already put Pakistan on the grey list. They have given Pakistan a list of 27 agenda items that are needed to be completed. 28 agenda items that are needed to be completed. Pakistan have completed 21 of them, and they need to complete the another 7 to let them stay out of the grey list. India have accused the action of the Pakistan is a possibility of creating or giving a sense of doing something which is a farce. India have completely denied. They have said that often these particular people have been given access to the internet to meet people, and in the case of Zakir Rahman Lakwi, he was even able to father a child from the jail where he was living. So that is how the police is treating, or the administration is treating, the terrorist accused over there. Apart from that, there is a particular UN resolution called as 1267. Multiple times I have called about this particular resolution. Please understand this, that 1267 is a resolution that is against the Al-Qaeda and its associates. And for years now, India has been basically trying to link Zakir Rahman Lakwi and the head of Zamatul Dawa, Hafiz Saeed, with 1267, that they are related with Taliban and they are related with other organizations. So what does 1267 provide? 1267 basically provides the people who are linked with the association of Al-Qaeda to be designated as terrorists, and therefore ask the countries in which these people are situated to take strict actions on the terror cases or the offenses that they are currently involved in. So I hope this is clear, and I think that is it for today. You can read this on your own, nothing substantial in that. I have always told you that the only important section of the Sunday's newspaper is science and technology. Please read it thoroughly. Today we have 3 lectures. One is the meteors, the second one is the identical twins, and the third one is the what was the third one? Quantum, sorry. third one was the quantum supremacy. So you please remember these all three. And if you do not know anything about the National Mission on Quantum Technology and Application, please read about it. And if you do not know about Quest, please also read about it. They've all been included in the short notes, but you have to do some research on your own so that the things that you have researched on your own would be always remembered to you, because once you search, you remember these particular things. So these are the three things that you have to remember, and all of the summary of the particular week is being summarized in the Sunday's newspaper. So there is nothing substantial in that. So that was it for today, and let us meet tomorrow then.